Well, it's March 14th, and we have unseasonably warm weather with no snow for once. And I'm out here trimming up my trees, getting them ready for the next growing season. So I popped up the tree tube here. This guy's got two different competing leaders. You can see there's a good one here, good one here. I just picked one of them and don't put too much thought into it and take one off at this young age. I just don't want a bunch of branches. I want them to go straight up to the top of the tube. You got a decent little live section right here. Little lead, it's all straight, and she's all trimmed up. This is a little bigger one. This is about a 2.5, 3 foot seedling. It's got all sorts of side branches. I'm just gonna take those off one at a time. Get a pair of bypass shears. Snip, snip. Again, I want growth going straight to the top. I don't want to clog in the tube. Get that out of there. Take this guy. All these. Now we got one nice clean straight tree ready to go to the top. Well, I'm going to show you my chestnut trees for 2016. This is April 10th, 2016. And these were planted 1 month and 4 days ago on March 6th. And they are coming along beautifully. A little leggy because, like I said, I just use regular fluorescent regular lights, not grow lights. So they get a little leggy, but they look healthy overall. And then once I get them out in the sun, they do just fine. And I put them in grow tubes, so they get a little leggy anyway, but they will grow into them as they're protected mostly from the wind in those grow tubes. These are doing very well. We have more of them over here. These have a little less good germination. They're all from Chestnut Ridge of Pike County. They all are of the Dunstan variety, as I've said before. These either were more dehydrated when I got them or just aren't growing as well. I don't know exactly why, but I've got about 50% germination on this table versus 100% on the other. So I planted 172 or so. I'm going to have about 120 to plant. These are English white oak. They produce a big, fat, long acorn that's about a knuckle and a half length, and they produce acorns at about 7 years, and then they will grow up to be more of a timber type tree over time. Look how gorgeous the seed is as it sprouts. Absolutely stunning colors. I love it. We have some white oaks, some red oaks, and other plants, hazelnuts and so forth, but very happy trees. Can't be happier with the results to this point. We're using root makers and also a cheaper version, but the root maker, I mean, is hard to beat. Well, thanks for watching. We'll check back more. I'll show you some pictures of the orchard as we start breaking bud, hopefully here in the next few weeks. It is May 18th, 2016, and we've moved most of our chestnuts outdoors. I planted these in mid-March inside, and if you've been following along in the video series, you did see an episode where I discussed those. And here I've moved most of them outside. They're 18 to 20 inches tall, most of them. They look very healthy. They're now going to get used to the sun and the wind moving them around. They'll sit here for a week or two as I harden them off, and then we'll get them out to the property and put them in the orchard. I also have the English white oak that I have discussed earlier, and I've got several down here planted along the edge. They look very happy overall. Anyway, so in the next couple weeks I hope to be planting these outside into the orchard, and you can follow along with me there. Hopefully we'll have some blooms somewhere around July 4th, and maybe even have our first actual chestnuts this fall. Thanks for watching. Well, it's Memorial Day, May 30th, 2016. I want to salute my great uncle Paul Barman, who gave his life in World War II. I'm out here in the chestnut orchard Lake Erie Chestnuts. And we're gonna finally plant these seedlings that you've been seeing me grow over the past few videos. You can look at the beautiful day we have. We have high 70s, low 80s. It's gorgeous. We're gonna be working on the bottom part of the hill here today. You can see that I have rows that continue on down 900 feet, and they stop at about 450, and then there's 450 feet remaining, and then I've mowed a new path here and then on over here. We're going to put them at 15 feet. I've been doing 30 feet, but I'm going to put it 15 feet here because I have suffered a little bit of mortality over the winter, and I'm trying to reduce that, offset it rather, with additional trees. We're going to plant those 2 additional rows. I got a 3rd row here, so you can see heading down that direction. You can look at our trees here. They're about 24 to 26 inches tall. They're all laying all curled up there because they're laying kind of sideways and stuff, but you can see they're happy trees. I'm going to have to put them in the ground. We'll get them all watered up. Can't wait for this day. Haven't been excited for it, just been working too much, so hopefully put them in the ground and God will water them for us. If he doesn't, we'll have to water them ourselves. And here's how I plant these. They're just in a small 3.5 by 3.5 root maker cell. So I dig a hole. This is all pasture land, so I dig it up, flip it over, then with my shovel chop it all up. Then I put the soil or the plants that were on top, the pasture grass, toss it to the side. I got most of the dirt off of it back in the hole. And I just work it up a little bit. Then I dig a little area where the plant's gonna go. Then I just grab the plant by the base and just lift up. You can see that the root ball is good enough that it holds the soil all together. Then I just place it in the hole, keeping this level right here at the top level with the surface of the pasture, maybe just slightly above, because remember, chestnuts do not like to be wet. A little hard to do one-handed. So I put that all in, backfill all the dirt, push it down. Then the next question comes, what do you do with that little nut that's still beside it, that it came out of? Well, my opinion is, you can see that one of the sides is dead already and the other side's green. I just pop it off. Very minimal effort. And toss it off to the side. Why do I do that? Well, last year when I didn't, an animal came along and tried to eat every one of them the next night and dug up about half my plants, trying to pull it off. So this year I'm taking it off for them and then just throwing it in the grass and let them do it. Now this is just pasture grass that I put around here to kind of mulch it in, so I don't have to water it as much. We don't have as dry of summers as some of you, but it certainly is pretty dry in the midsummer, and I'm getting a late plant in late May as opposed to early May when there's still plenty of sun. So that's how I plant them. She's sitting there pretty, 2 foot tall, ready to go. Don't worry if you see a low dieback in the first week. It'll grow back. We'll water these in later today. This year I went with Pro tubes. They come nested inside each other, 5 at a time. They come with these releasable zip ties already on. I used Plantra the last couple years, but the price was jacked up 40%, so I actually paid less than I paid even 2 or 3 years ago for Plantra, and they're looking pretty good. I like them. The pluses are that they're already formed up. The negatives are that they have varying size. The outside one is about 4.5 inches. The inside one I think goes down to about 3.25. And I had to buy my own Schedule 40 tubing. And if you buy the conduit, non-metallic conduit, it's much cheaper than the regular PVC. And I just bought 10-foot sections, and if you buy over a certain amount, they give you a discount. So the total price per tube stake combo is going to be in the $3.70 range, $3.70 range, versus I was paying $5.50 last year. These are Chinese chestnuts purchased from Empire Chestnut Company in Ohio. This is their third year, starting their third year. They spent 1 year at Empire Chestnuts. I planted them last spring here, and they're out of the top of a 5-foot tube. Hopefully this spring will give them enough of a push to get up past 6 feet, because deer can still browse these, and they have browsed them. But these are the ones that I hope give me a few blooms this year.